Earlier, I spoke with Administrator Michael Regan of the Environmental Protection Agency. Sir, thank you very much for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me, Greta.
Okay. In Ohio, talking to people, what have you learned is their biggest concern?
You know, Greta, the biggest concern is not knowing who to trust. Obviously, they're going through a very traumatic event, and their questions range from, can we trust you, EPA Administrator, because we know we can't trust Norfolk Southern. So when we're spending time on the ground, this is my second trip back, although we've had EPA personnel on the ground since day one, just trying to close that trust gap.
Well, how do you do that? Because you didn't cause the accident occurs, and then, of course, then you show up. What can you do? I mean, how can you help these people?
Well, you know, first and foremost, Greta, today's announcement was a big step forward demonstrating how we're going to hold Norfolk Southern accountable to clean up the mess and to pay for it. What I've learned since being on the ground is that as we take these steps, we have to be as transparent as possible with the community and force Norfolk Southern to be transparent in terms of how they're going to clean up this mess. And so we're going to be more actively engaged with community members to ensure that they have the latest information on the quality of their air and their drinking water and what Norfolk Southern is doing to rectify this situation.
I'll tell you is that my heart bleeds for these people. I know yours does too. Is that if I lived there, I don't know. I mean, at some point the train they'll leave. Northern Southern will leave. EPA will leave. Everyone will say it's fine. I don't think, quite honestly, that I would feel particularly fine. I'd be nervous. So, I mean, how do you make people like me, if I live there, not feel nervous long term?
Well, you know, I'd say the same thing that Governor DeWine said today, and you know, the congressman whose district this is in, you know, Congressman Bill Johnson, all of us are committed to being there for the long haul. We know this happened rapidly, but we can't get out of it overnight. And we're committed to being in this community until this mess is cleaned up. And so as we hold Norfolk Southern accountable, we have to stay present in the community and walk the community through the process and stay there to the end.
What about all the other counties and cities and towns in the country? Because now we all know, and we may not have paid attention, but we all know now that the vinyl chloride and other toxic chemicals are being transported in train cars, some on aging tracks, maybe aging cars, maybe some not even marked. I mean, I know that's a bigger question beyond sort of the quality of the air and water, which is your purview, but how do we make the American people suddenly feel safe about this?
Well, you know, the Department of Transportation is, you know, actively investigating how we got to where we are. But you're seeing governors all over the country. You're seeing Congress respond with outrage that, you know, trains are transporting these materials. And in this case, in Ohio, without even the proper notification to the state that it was being transported. So there are lots of evaluations happening now. I think DOT rolled out a policy paper earlier today that talked about some ideas that they have from a policy standpoint. I think they're touching on what railroad companies can do now immediately. And then I think they're talking about some of the things that they plan to do with Congress. It is going to really be a whole of government approach here, Greta, because we should not be where we are. And in East Palestine should not be facing the type of tragedy that they are.
Mr. Administrator, thank you, sir, very much. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Greta.